Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. And before we get started, shout-outs out of the way. Today's shout-out goes to Early Grab 360. Early Grab 360 was the first to say first in one of my recent videos and thus wins a shout-out. So what do we got here today? This is a very unusual looking drone. This is the Cheerson CX-50 Morpho. What is the Morpho? Well, the Morpho is, if you see this cage around it, you can guess it's designed for beginners. And it's also intended mainly for indoor flying. And it also has something very special. It has 5-point IR sensors, obstacle avoidance IR sensors to prevent bouncing into walls while you're flying it at home. Now, I like to fly outdoors, folks. And I don't know how well these are going to work outdoors, especially in sunlight. I don't think they're going to work very well in sunlight. But indoors, I was flying this the other night in my living room, and I don't want you to see my living room. That's why you're not seeing the video. It's a mess, but it works very well. Okay, it was bouncing off the walls. One thing, though, I noticed in narrow hallways, if you flew this in a narrow hallway, it gets confused. So, you know, you have to have about 3 foot of separation when you take off around it of objects. Otherwise, it will detect them right away. You know, anything comes within 3 feet of this thing, and it tries to bounce off of it, it'll start tilting. But let's go over its, you know, that's its features. It has a, I forgot the size battery, I'll put it right here, but it is a LiPo battery. You cannot change it in the field. It is encased inside the drone, so unfortunately it cannot be changed. Additionally, here's its charging port here, and I had a hard time looking, but this is its on-off switch right here. It doesn't show in the instructions where the on-off switch is. You really should, Cheerson, put the pointer where that little switch was, because that took me about 15-20 minutes to find that thing, because my eyes are very poor. Okay, let's go over the controller. The controller is very basic. It's a toy-grade controller. On your left stick, you have throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll. You can change from, you know, that to move the throttle over here by, you know, changing it to mode 1 by pressing this button here. This actually switches to mode 1 if you wish. Additionally, to change the rates, you know, beginner, intermediate, expert, you press into the left stick. And with a quick press, and that'll change the rates. A long press will enter into headless mode. And this trim button here is not a trim button. This is for takeoff. You start the motors up and take off by pressing this button here. And you land the drone by pressing that button there. So that's it. Very basic. Let's go for a fly of this thing, see how it performs. Turning it on. That should be on. Yep, lights are blinking. And turning on the transmitter, binding it to the drone, and pressing the takeoff button. And there it is. Let's see if it'll bounce off of me. Ah, it does detect me. Look. How about over here? Oh, it's doing it again. So this works rather well, as you can see. How about, it's also got a top sensor so you don't bounce into the ceiling. See that? Let's show that again. There's the ceiling, there's the ceiling. There's a wall. There's your lamp at home. There's you. Here's your dog. It works amazingly well. Whoop. That's neat. Now, there's no flip buttons on this thing. This isn't meant to do acrobatics. But hey, I'm outdoors and this is working. Okay, this is the sun side. I'm surprised. You know, normally these IR obstacle avoidance drones don't work very well outdoors, but this one does. Nothing on the bottom, but you can send it down that way. Okay, let's go to higher rate. Let's see how this flies. This is highest rate. Well, oh, ran out of power there. I don't know what happened there. It just dropped. Oh, a propeller came off inside the cage, unfortunately. But it was working very well up until then. I'm going to put that propeller back on when I get home, but and probably do a follow-on flight for this. But overall, this is pretty cool so far. So hope you enjoy the second part of this flight. Okay, it's the next morning here. I've replaced that blade there. To get in there, I had to remove 3 little screws here, lift it up, and I was able to put on a replacement blade. You do get a full set of replacement blades with this, so that was not an issue. So let's go back up again. Today I got a little bit of a breeze, so we're going to also see how this flies in a breeze. I don't think it's going to do very well with this breeze, but we'll find out. And binding it to the quadcopter, hitting automatic takeoff. And there we go. And I was right about the breeze, so let's go to higher rate. Only 2 rates on this, so that's about the max I'm going to go. So again, you know, this is mainly meant for indoor flying, although it's doing it. So, so let's see how maneuverable it is. Here it is going downwind. It didn't stop for me. I was hoping that it would stop. Let's go and see if it'll bump into a tree. We'll take it up slowly to a tree and see if it bumps off the tree. Trying its, wow, the wind is picking up big time, but it's doing it. I'm surprised. Okay, will you see this tree? Nope. Whoop. Okay, today it's not working as well as it did yesterday. But it's holding its position. I don't know how it's doing that. Come on, you were working yesterday. I got a blue light on the front. I don't know what that means. But I'm not flying this thing. But it's automatically crabbing into the wind. I don't know how it's doing that. So what I'm going to do is, let's hit that land button. We'll land on the ground there, and then hit takeoff again. There, it's working now. I don't know why it wasn't working before, but trying to fight the wind. Again, this is an indoor flyer. I shouldn't be flying outdoors with it, but a little CX-43. I want to see what type of flight time we can get with that provided battery. Can I go to... Okay, here's 3rd rate. It has 3 rates. Ah, okay. And the highest rate, expert rate, ain't too bad. Even outdoors. Huh, okay. I didn't know it had that 3rd rate. So yeah, for a beginner, this would be very easy to... Oh, did I lose another prop again? Nope, all 3 props are in there. I don't know why it stopped. You know, they're all attached. But let's try it again. Putting it on the pad. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this off. And then turn it back on again. I'm not sure why it stopped like that. Okay. And transmitter on. Take off. Okay, high rate again. Not sure why it stopped. But it just stopped and dropped. Okay, we're back at high rate. There is no flip on this, but I would say, even if there was, with the weight of the cage, that would be, it dropped again. So, we're going to call it quits here, folks, but that's about it. That's the Morpho. Maybe that's what it does when its battery gets low. We're going to call that quits. So we're going to call that flight time. So it apparently, when its battery gets down low, it just drops. So that's the X-50 Morpho. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.